honestly, the amount of support we've received from people from around the world, I don't take anybody for granted. Like, I just think about it like this. People may be like, 400 subscribers, 500 subscribers. Okay, it's a small audience, but imagine being in a room, there's 500 people there talking to you, seeing you.
Exactly.
That's insane.
Willing to pay a ticket just to
pay there, right? Just to, imagine you charge $10 a ticket, right? $20 a ticket, whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, I think that speaks a testament to who we are as people. Is always continuing the journey, making sure that no matter who you are, no matter what your personality type is, the one mindset, the one characteristic, the one trait that needs to be sort of universal in this last flat out theme is staying true to yourself. Right. And making sure you have a lot of perseverance and consistency, and also a direction as to where you want to go. Even if you have to pivot. Most people have pivoted multiple times, but where are you pivoting to? Right. And I think that, you know, it's actually funny that now, just to sort of like change directions a little bit in the conversation. So I had my best friend here as of the time of the recording here, which you guys got to finally meet, which, you know, he says you're a dope guy. Whatever, but
I wish you would have had like a dinner, proper dinner.
Bro, it was just more like, honestly, like speaking about that, like my girl was like, you guys didn't do any, like we just, bro, we're so tired. We just wanted to chop it up. We didn't do anything on that Sunday after the brunch on Saturday. But honestly, I remember him taking a much more different, because when I first started the podcast, it was more of like a why type of question. Like, why are you doing this? Like, what's causing you to do this? But now the types of questions I'm getting from people are like, okay, I can see that you really enjoy this. And they're asking me a lot of in-depth questions about the podcast. Not necessarily what my motivations are, but the purpose, the intent as to what I'm trying to do with this, the platform that I'm building. Because we're building something from scratch, right? And I remember him telling me, if you had to say to someone why they should follow you, why should they take
what value
do you bring? You know, at the time I didn't really have a good answer, but now the more and more I think about it, it's honestly when I go talk to someone and I go speak to someone, they're like, man, it just feels like you're like my big brother. Right? It feels like you're my big brother, right? And honestly, I'm not trying to be the big brother of the internet at all, but all I'm trying to tell people is that there's a lot of successful people in this world. Right? Me and Mike are one of them. And we don't have huge names yet attached to ourselves, but we will, I promise you that. But the one thing is maintaining that level of humility while having enough experience of going through the trauma and staying true to yourself and never switching it up. Right? The money is never going to switch us up. The fame is never going to switch us up if we ever get there. But what I want to do is make sure that whoever I was 10, 15 years ago, I wish I had someone like me that I can listen to. Because I'm like, yo, I can look up to that person and be like, he makes it feel like it's possible. For me to get to where I want to get to. And that's what I'm trying to provide. I think that's why I want people to follow me or follow us in the podcast. It's sort of like, look, no matter what stage of your life you're in, you could always make a pivot. You could always take a last flight out.
Whatever you put your mind to, it's achievable. You know?
Right. So,
and I think what we're going to show or what we're trying to show is, I don't think necessarily like we're not special by any means. We just showing up and we just being consistent. Right. You know, that's going to be the difference maker here.
The consistency is what's going to make you special.
Exactly.
Right? That's what it is. Special.
Like, damn, you guys kept on with the live got 5 people, 10 people. Exactly. And imagine it's going to be thousands and all that. But it's like, no, it's cool. We on it.
I'll stream to 2 people. I'll stream to 10 people. 5 people. 1 person. I don't care who it is. If you got to show up, you got to show up every single day. I hate, because the worst thing is that when people give up is that they see after a week, they're like, it's like going to the gym and expecting abs after a week. Like, that ain't going to happen. It's going to happen after 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 3 years. You have to put in the work. And anything you do, you have to put in the work. Season 2 ain't nothing. Season 2 of 100 seasons. We're not going to we don't have 10 seasons in us. This is a forever thing we want to do. And this is going to transform as time goes on, right? Obviously, and I would hope our viewers and our followers would want that for us, right? We don't know where this is going to lead to. I hope it can lead into a HBO show. It can lead into a special on some sort of broadcast. We don't know. It could turn into a radio show. I don't know. But it transforms.
Exactly.
Just because the content or the medium may be different, the consistency doesn't stop. You have to show up each and every day. You have to prepare. And even though me and Mike have full-time jobs. We still take time out of our day to prepare.
Yeah.
Mike is more of a late night owl, so he's texting at 1:30 in the morning, and then I'm texting in the morning at 4:30 in the morning. But we find some time during the day.
It's time to match it.
It's time to match it. But the problem is that you just have to show up. And when it comes to the game time and the lights turn on and the ball, it needs to be dribbled, you need to make sure what the plays are.
For real.
Or you don't want to look lost out there,
Yeah.
for sure. And Mike keeps me accountable. I keep him accountable at all times because we're human. We fall off sometimes. Sometimes there's some days where you just don't feel like watching a video, chopping it up. Right, because me and Mike are still a two-man team for the most part.
Yeah,
right.
We are.
The amount of content that you guys see pumped out this season so far, by the time this video drops, this was all mostly me and Mike.
Yeah.
Right, posting it on YouTube, uploading it on YouTube, downloading it from our Google Drive, make sure that everything, all the captions are right, make sure the descriptions are right.
Exactly.
That's us.
So all the social medias, the reels,
the social medias, everything that you see, that was us because we take pride in the work that we want to do. I'm not saying that eventually we don't want to graduate from that and scale our business because this is ultimately a business. We want to scale it, but like Davin said, I don't know if he said it off camera or on camera. What did he say? You hire slow, fire fast.
Yeah.
Right? And you'd be surprised from that story. I was like, damn, it's just that, like, that's crazy, right? Just like you'd be surprised some businesses how it's still just the co-owners doing everything almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And it's like, wow, like
that's why I was shocked at that because I thought how they're running and the exposure that they got.
They make it seem like a whole 100-person team or something like that. And I was like, it's just two people for the most part on the day to day.
Yeah.
That's kind of like us, really, right? Because at the end of the day, this is ours, right? And unless people buy into like, I guess you're never gonna convince somebody else to want it more than you. And that's why we have to keep the standard a high level all the time because whoever comes and helps us, full-time hire, intern, that is the level they need to meet. That's the expectation. You can't be having anybody fall off.